everyone, thanks for tuning back in. It's Tracy from Tracy Cashes In, and I'm doing a closeout video today for 2021. I'm going to count all of my envelopes and total it and take you along with me. Now, mind you, the totals won't be too high, even though it is for a whole year's worth of closing out, because if you remember back in I think it was around June, July, I emptied out all my envelopes for our move. We moved to a new house, and I didn't want to move the cash with me, so we put it all in the bank. I used some of that for moving costs, and I started over again in, I believe it was October, or maybe November. So it's only going to be a small amount for this year, but I wanted to start new in January with the totals current, and so here we go. Okay, we're going to start with the brown binder. Oops, off to a great start. It's upside down. Okay, and our first envelope is Valentine's Day. So in Valentine's Day, our total is $20.45. So I'm just going to update that on my tracker. Okay. And for March break, we have $20.40. Now my tracker is laid out, as you can see, in this exact same order that the envelopes are in, so it should run pretty smoothly. So we're going to update that with 40. Easter just has a 20. And so that one's current. Taxes has 50, 70, 90. Disney Plus has 20, 30. Now the reason that these numbers are off to begin with is because I just am updating it now after the last video I did, which was just an extra paycheck for my husband. So some of them will be current, some of them will be behind a bit. I just didn't have an update. I figured I'd save it for this video. So we have $5 in Mother's Day, which is correct. It's current. Amazon Prime. We have, taking it all, yep, 10, 20, 30, 35. Zeke's birthday has just the 50, so that's right. Anniversary has 510. Father's Day has just the 5, so that's right. Canada Day has 510. Zeta's birthday is next, and it has 50, which is correct. Michael's birthday has 20, 30, and that one is also correct. Oh, I'm losing my binder here. License plate stickers has 20, 40, 45. So that one is also correct. So we're going to pop down here. There will be a couple out of order because car insurance and Tupperman's are in a different binder. So that's 45, so that's correct. School has nothing, which is correct. Zola's birthday has 50, which is correct. Halloween has 20, 40, 45, 50. And that is showing 50 already. So that one doesn't need to be updated. And we are on to the next binder. Yeah, so I don't have my binders organized by different things and different ones, like high priority, lower priority. Mine are literally in order of the months, so the year as things come up. So when one binder kind of fills up, I just move on to the next one to try to keep them sort of even. So the next binder we should start off with, oh, so this is where Teppermans is. So this is why this one's out of order. So we'll just pop back up to Teppermans. And we'll see what we have in there. So we have 125. And then we're back down to my birthday. So there we go. So then Tracy's birthday has 20, 30. So that's right. And this one, I always have trouble with opening this one. I think the top's trimmed weird. Okay, and next we have Christmas, which has nothing. We're going to start that one off again this month. New Year's also has nothing, so we're going to zero that one out because I used that to buy some pretend wine. We had some pretend wine, some sparkling apple juice for New Year's Eve, and the girls were actually up for New Year's, so we all had a glass of that. Costco has $10 showing there, but we actually have 50. So we'll change that one. Car maintenance, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So we have 70 in car maintenance. And house maintenance has nothing because we did have to take that out to pay for our roof. Also, if you remember on one of my videos, I mentioned that I'd got a bonus from work for Christmas, which was beautiful. But that also went to fixing our roof from the windstorm that we had that I'd mentioned in one of my previous videos as well. There was a pretty rough windstorm we had, and so I had to, a part of our roof edging kind of got ripped off in the wind. So we are getting that fixed. So we had to go through insurance and put some money towards that. So that's where my bonus, a little bit of my bonus went. Some of the bonus went to a little bit more Christmas presents, but most of the bonus went to that there. Okay, so where are we now? We're at gifts. Gifts has a 10. And clothing, it also has 10. As I mentioned last time, I'd spent some of that. I bought myself a little hoodie while I was out of town and visiting my parents. We had a really rough Christmas this year. My mother-in-law is in the hospital with some not feeling well. And my father had to go into the hospital too, just to get he does kidney dialysis, so he had to get his little implant that they use for that, and he had to get it moved to another location because it wasn't working well. So his wasn't too serious. My mother-in-law, she was she's got pneumonia, so she was in pretty rough shape. So she's still in the hospital now. And my aunt, my father's sister, was also in the hospital over the holidays. She's having an operation as well. So it was not a great Christmas for us that way, health-wise. Yeah, so I was out of town visiting my mom. I went and picked up my dad from out of another city that was close by between me and my parents' city, and I picked him up from the hospital there and brought him home. So we spent a couple days there after Christmas. And yeah, that's when I bought my hoodie. I think that's the story I was on anyways. I forgot why I was rambling. Yeah, I bought myself a hoodie with my clothing funds, and I bought it in my parents' hometown. Anyways, we go back to this. We've got I've got 50 showing for pets, but that is not right. We got more in there. So let's see. For pets, we have 55. So that was a little bit higher now. You know what? On my last video, if you go back to watch my last video, I had a bunch of fumbles with my counting as well. And one of the things I noticed is this was supposed to have a 10 in it. And I picked up a 5, and I made a note of that on the video when I was editing it. So there's nothing I can really do about that now. So I'm just going to put 55 on my list because it was actually supposed to be 60. I was supposed to have a 10 in there, but I accidentally put a 5. And then there was another spot where I had an extra 5 I took out of my buffer and added that into one of my envelopes. So that made me $10 over because I had an extra 5 that was supposed to go into pets, an extra 5 that came out of my buffer that went into home improvements. And so then at the end, I was $10 over and I couldn't figure it out at the time. Well, now I know. Now that's where the 10 came from. So in case anybody just flip back, here, I'll put it up here. My last video. You can kind of see me fumbling my way through counting. It was a horrible mess, but thank God that was the last video of, well, not the last video of 2021. This would be the last video for 2021, but last cash stuffing, and it was just a mess. So hopefully 2022's videos will go a little more smoothly. So for pets, we finished that one. Passports has 20, 40, 55. And travel has 20, 40, 50. Now YouTube, I don't have this on my list because these were just some extra ones I was going to stuff just when I had a little bit of extra change. So they're not actually on my list of my budget for things to keep track of, but that's a 20. So because that's not on my list, I'm going to write that off to the side so that I can remember to add that onto my total afterwards. So I'm just going to write that down because there's a couple categories that aren't on my list that I'm going to not have accurate. Okay, and then Etsy doesn't have anything. Concerts doesn't have anything. Tattoos is another one, so I'm going to write down another 10. So we have $10 in tattoos right there. So that's another one that's not on my list. So we'll add this to the total at the end so we know. Gym membership has nothing, and tech has 20. Yeah, 20. So that's another one there as well that has to be added on. So in total, we'll add an extra 50 on to whatever we get totaled onto this. Because if you see, there is a total field at the bottom that adds up on its own so that we have a total. Okay, and back to this binder. And I think these ones were out of order as well. So in this one, we have Zeke's Savings. And it has 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So you have $70 in Zeke savings for the year. Sola savings should have the same. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Yeah, for my last video, I was struggling to have enough 10s and 5s because I was doing the video on January 1st, and our banks are closed for the new year, obviously. I'm sure every yours are as well in the States. And so I only had 20s, 50s, and 100s, and I was trying to pull some smaller bills from some of my envelopes, and it was a struggle. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 in Zetas as well. So they all get the same. And as soon as this gets up to 100, I'm going to put a placeholder in there and put that in the bank. Okay, so we're just going to update these because I'm getting behind on that. So that's a 70. That's a 70. And for stocks, which most of it is invested already because we have 3,000 invested already. And we have 20, 30, 40 out. So change that to 3040. Now emergency, this was another fumble I did on my last video. I have some placeholders in there because this money is in the bank, but I must have accidentally picked up an extra placeholder because I'm only supposed to have $400 in there. So I'm going to pull one of these out right now and put that aside so we have this accurate. So now we have 400 in the bank. These are placeholders, by the way. They aren't real. Canada spelled incorrectly, and they aren't see-through at the top there. As you can see, that's actually just printed on. But they look real enough, and they're just holding the place while I have the money in the bank. And so then we have 10, 20, 25 on top of that. So 425 should be an emergency. And I think that covers all of my fumbles from my last video. Everything's cleared up for that now. My buffer is empty, as we know from my last video as well. I pulled from that for one of the categories, the home improvement, and also for my savings challenge because I took a chance and I lost. This is why I don't gamble. I am not a gambler because I took a chance on one of my scratch-off envelopes, hoping it would be under $55, the money I had set aside for my savings challenges. And of course, it came out to 66. So I did have to pull a 10 from my buffer and add that into my savings challenge. So I'm going to start my buffer off new in the new year. It's at 0 now. So we're going to zero that out. Okay, and back to bank is nothing. 2 weeks extra is an envelope I made for when I do my, sometimes mine and my husband's paychecks align in the same week. So I pull all the money out and I was doing videos with both of our money in it, and this would be where I'd put the extra money for the next week that I just put aside for like gas and groceries and whatnot. But I'm trying not to use that now. I'm trying to film a video every week and keep it separate just because I always screw up when I do the 2 weeks together. I usually, the things that I have weekly, like the savings for the kids or the emergency or stocks, I end up forgetting to double up something and it never works out for me. Okay, so we have car insurance here. So I'm going to pop back up to here, because that was out of order, and that's got 20 in it right now. That's an extra payment for car insurance. Home insurance, this was the cause of some of my woes last video, and that has 20 in it. And that is right down here. Yeah, they are way out of order. So there we go. House maintenance, house insurance. Oh, do I not have, I don't have home insurance on the list. I have home maintenance. So I'm going to write that one down as well. I'm not sure why I have one and not the other. Maybe car insurance shouldn't be on there either. Because again, these are just things that are saving just in case. So I'm going to put 20 down here. So we're at 70 now. Okay, and mortgage extra. Oh, sorry, I do see home insurance down there. Oh, I'm silly. Okay, so there it is. Home insurance is down there. Car insurance, I've gotten 2 places for some reason. I've got to fix this form. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one blank for now because it is up on the top, and then I'm going to take that away before I start working on the next year because I've got it twice. So we have nothing extra for mortgage. Car payment is an extra one, and in that one we have, I think it's just the 10. Yep, just 10. Right there. Okay, and utilities has nothing extra. Gas, this is another one where I don't have a category for it. I've got to straighten up this budget sheet for the next year to get rid of some of these things. So we have $5 in there, so I'll write that down. So now we're actually at 55 over. That's including gas. And Bell is another 5. Yep, just 5 in there. So that's 10. So that makes that 60 over, and Cell would make that 65. Netflix has nothing extra, and the TD Visa is at 20. So I'm not going to include that because that's something I pay monthly. I tried to get rid of all my monthly stuff on here just because it doesn't stay, or my weekly ones. That one's going straight back into the bank, so I'm not going to include that in my totals. Okay, and that concludes it. So right now we have $935 is what it's working out to carry over. And then the current totals we have for the whole year is 4,745. And then we're going to add on the extra. So it comes out to 4,810 is the total for the year. Okay, and thanks for watching. And you know what? I think I skipped another binder. Let me just hold that thought. I think this is my savings binder, so we might not need to. These are my challenges. I'm not including my challenges in there because it's an ongoing one. Roll the Die has nothing in it right now because I haven't picked that up. Picking it up for January. We'll count that one next year. Furniture challenge. Again, I'm not buying any new furniture anytime soon. This was more pre-move. I wanted to pick up some furniture for moving, so I had a furniture challenge for that, and I'm going to take that out of here because we don't need that one. And my 52-week challenge, which I'm just starting for January. I just got a loonie in there right now, which you can't even see. We just put that in the last video, and I'll be starting that up for this. And I believe that's it. That's just blank, blank, blank. Yep. So these are just my challenges. If I come up with any new challenges, I got a couple of extra envelopes there for it. So yeah, we are at the total of 4,810 for the year, which isn't a lot, but it's okay seeing as I just picked this up again in the past couple months. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will be shooting my next video for my first paycheck, for 1st of January paycheck, and hopefully that'll be up very shortly. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like the video, and I will see you on my next video, and hopefully that'll be smooth as butter. And yeah, so thanks again, and I always say, you know what, I've noticed, and I'm really sorry, I'm going to work on this. I've worked on the ums. I think I've cut down my ums. I used to say every like 2 seconds. So I think I've cut down on that. I've been concentrating on that, but I've really got to wrap these videos up better. I say thanks and thanks and goodbye a million times before I actually end the video. So this is it. Video's done. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.